learners, I hope you're having a great time. Today we want to look at the parts of speech. On our previous video we looked at the consonant sounds, vowel sounds and articles. Now we want to look at the parts of speech. Now, dear English learner, I want you to take out a pen and a notepad as we prepare for this class. Take a minute, take out a pen and a notepad as we prepare to learn the parts of speech. Now, dear learner, as you progress to learning in the learning of grammar, first of all, you have to know the parts of speech. And that is what we are looking at today. These are the parts of speech. Number one, we have the nouns. Number one, we have the nouns. Number one, we have nouns. A noun is a naming word. We look more on that as we look at nouns. Number two, we have pronouns. The second part of speech, we have pronouns. Then number three, we have verbs. Number three, we have verbs. Number four, we have adjectives. Number four, we have adjectives. Number five, we have adverbs. Number five, we have adverbs. Then number six, we have prepositions. Prepositions, conjunctions, conjunctions and interjections. Last time we looked at articles. Today we want to look at the parts of speech. Number one, I've said we have nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions and interjections. Okay, the first thing we want to look at is nouns. The first thing we want to look at, nouns. Dear learner, a noun is a naming word. A noun is a naming word. A noun is a naming word. But we have different types of nouns. We have different types of nouns. The first one, we have common nouns. Common nouns. And common nouns are general names of places, people, and things. Names of places, people, things, and also ideas. We have an example. An example of people, we have father. That is just an example. You can have more example. People can be mother, girl, boy, etc. Under animal, we have cat. A cat. You can go on and use that in a sentence. A cat is under the table. Next, we have things. For example, chair. Things, for example, chair. We have places, for example, city, towns, etc. City, towns, etc. On ideas, we have nouns such as hate, envy, etc. I want you to take note of something under common nouns. Under common nouns, you only capitalize a common noun if it's at the beginning of a sentence. If it's in the middle of the sentence, you don't start the noun with a capital letter. But if it comes at the beginning, you definitely start the word with a capital letter. This is something you need to note. With common nouns, you capitalize if it is the first word in a sentence. Okay, that is it on common nouns. We now want to look at proper nouns. Dear Nana, we now want to look at proper nouns. Proper nouns. If you see the word proper, think about what it might entail. With common nouns, we say these are general names of people, places, things. But when you come to proper nouns, these are specific names of people, places, or things. If a common noun is the noun girl, a proper noun will be the specific name of this girl. Could be Mary, Jen, etc. Now, proper nouns, name used for a person, should be specific person, place, or thing. Now, when you write the specific person the specific name of a person or a place or a thing, the name used for this person, always remember to start the name with a capital letter. Begin in capital letters for proper nouns. An example there, I have a table. Under the table, I have common nouns and proper nouns. If the common noun is boy, the proper noun should be the name for that boy, the name used to call that boy. I've used the example John. An example in sentence, you can say John goes to school. Under that, I have an example of teacher. The general name is teacher, but the specific name of a specific teacher is, I've used my name in this case, Miss Shirley. So we also have city. City here is a common noun, but when you want the proper noun, you use the specific name of that city. In this case, it becomes Nairobi. I've used the example of Nairobi. An example in sentence, you can say Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. Okay. We have covered two types of nouns, common nouns and proper nouns. Next, we want to look at concrete nouns. See, dear learner, when you refer to concrete nouns, you refer to nouns that register to our senses. We have 5 senses: the sense of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, and even feeling. Now, you see the nouns that you can see, touch, hear, taste, feel. These are concrete nouns. For example, I know you can see a chair where you are. If there's a chair somewhere, you definitely can see it. Anything you can see, that is a concrete noun. Another example, chair. Another example I've used, a chair. With concrete nouns, they register to our senses. Now, the opposite of concrete is abstract. In this case, they don't register to our senses. With abstract nouns, you can't see, you can't touch, you can't feel, you can't hear, you can't taste. With abstract noun, they don't register to our senses. I've given an example, peace. Can you see peace? No, you can't see peace. Fun, anger, happiness. These examples you can't see, you can't touch. An example in sentence, you can say we are all for peace. We all choose peace. Or all love happiness. Okay, that is it on concrete and abstract nouns. I hope you have noted the difference between the two. Concrete register to our feelings. Abstract, they don't register to our feelings. You can't see them, you can't touch them, you can't feel them, hear them, etc. Next, we have count nouns. Now, when you refer to one thing, we say that is its plural singular form. But if there are two or more things, that is the plural form. Some things can be counted and others cannot. Now, those that can be counted are referred to as count nouns or countable nouns. These can be expressed in plural forms. They can be expressed in plural forms. I have used an example of dog. The singular form of dog is dog. The plural form becomes dogs. S has been added to dog to make it dogs. An example in sentence: a dog is a calm animal. In plural form, dogs are calm animals. Very good. Next, we want to look at those nouns that cannot be counted. We refer to them as non-count nouns. We refer to them as non-count nouns. You cannot count these nouns. So, these are also referred to as mass nouns. In this case, there are no plural forms of these. There are no plural forms of these nouns. For example, oxygen, hair, air, equipment, luggage. We don't have the plural forms of these nouns. They're also referred to as mass nouns. I hope you've noted the difference between count and non-count nouns, countable and non-countable nouns. Okay, dear learners, that was it on nouns. Next, we want to look at the spelling rules of countable nouns. We have spelling rules on countable. Now, when you want to look at the rules for spelling plural nouns, mostly we know that rule, add the one that we add s, but that doesn't apply to all nouns. Others have different rules. So the first one, we want to look at number one. We have nouns that add s. We have those nouns that add s. These are the most common rule that we know of. For example, book, books, book, books. An example in sentence: did you carry your book to school? That is in the singular form. In the plural form, it will become: did you carry your books to school? That is a question, should have a question mark at the end. Number two, we have those that end in sh, s. The letter X, Z. Those that end in CH, SH, S, X, Z. With those ones you add IES. With those ones you add IES. For example, we have church. Church ends in CH. You therefore add ES, it becomes churches. In this case, you either add ES or IES. Next we have box. Next we have box. Next we have box. Box. Next we have the first one we had I did make a mistake there. You just add ES. Those that end in CH, SH, SX, and Z add ES. For example, church becomes churches, box, boxes, prize, prizes, bus, buses, church, churches. You can see we've added es, box, boxes, prize, prizes, bus, buses. Those that end in these sounds, you add es. The next rule deals with those that end in y. Those that end in the consonant sound y, you add ies. For example, spy becomes spies, community, communities, activity, activities, country, countries. Those that end in y, you add ies. An example, I have spy, spies, community, communities, activity, activities, country, countries. Those that end in y, you add ies. You omit the y, replace it with ies. If the noun ends with y, omit the y and replace it with ies. Next, you have most that end in f or fe. Those that end in f or fe, omit the f and add ves. Omit the f and add ves. For example, elf becomes elves, wolf becomes wolves, half becomes halves. Those that end in f or fe, omit the f and add ves. For example, elf, elves, wolf, wolves, half, halves. Take a minute, let that sink in. Next, we look at those that end in o. Those that end in o, you add es. Those that end in o, add es. We have tomato, tomatoes, buffalo, buffaloes. Those that end in o, add es. Tomato, tomatoes, buffalo, buffaloes. I have more examples here. Hero becomes heroes, mosquito becomes mosquitoes. These are those that end in o, you add es. Next, we have some nouns that only change their vowels. Nouns that only change. We also have some nouns which only change their vowels. Some nouns which only change their vowels. We looked at vowel sounds. If you need to learn more about vowels, go back to our previous video. We have some nouns that change their vowel sounds to form their plural forms. For example, goose becomes geese, man becomes men, man becomes men, mouse becomes mice, tooth becomes teeth. But then we also have those nouns that don't change at all. We also have those nouns that don't change at all. For example, deer, in the singular form deer, in the plural form, it also remains deer. Doesn't change at all. Species in the singular form is also species in the plural form. Fish, singular, fish, plural. Sheep in the singular form, sheep in the plural form. These are the nouns that don't change at all. You have those that change, those that add s, those that add es, those that add ies, those that change their vowels, and those that don't change at all. Then we also have those nouns which have the Latin origin. Those nouns which have the Latin origin. For example, antenna. Right now, here in this case, I want you to take a look at the spellings, how you spell the nouns in their plural forms. Antenna becomes antenna, antennae with an AE at the end. Appendix becomes appendices. Cactus becomes cacti. Stadium becomes stadia. Terminus becomes termini. Index becomes indices. We also have formula becomes formulae. I want you to take a look at the spelling, see how it is spelled. Formula, formula ends with AE at the end. I also have more examples on this side. Curriculum becomes curricula. Referendum becomes referenda. Take a good look at how they are spelled in their plural forms so as not to confuse them. You can go on, use these examples in sentences, make your own sentences, come up with your own nouns in their singular forms and in their plural forms. It was nice interacting with you in this video. I hope you've liked the video. I hope you've subscribed, and I hope you're going to comment down below on a topic that you want us to cover. It's been your host, Miss Shaye. This is ENG TV. I hope we meet on the next video. We'll next look at the next part of speech. Have a great day. Peace.